Welcome to the Geek Easy. Sit back, grab a libation of your choice, and relax, 'cause it's time to do some geek stuff in the Geek Easy. Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's grab a beverage of your choice, because today we will be discussing DCeased with the hardcover trade paperback. Look how beautiful this thing is. And they have that wonderful cover. And I actually have I considered bringing this out, but I didn't. I have an issue of this one. This cover, signed by the artist, and it's slabbed and graded. But I didn't see the point. So we're going to go over this. Now, as I mentioned, I do have copies of this book. I have all the what do you call it? All the floppies. But I bought this because how beautiful this cover is, and it was pretty much half off at my LCS. Not my LCS, but the used bookstore. And I had forgotten how good this story is. I mean, I remembered it being good, but damn, this is really good. Okay, so let's recap here. The gist of this story is it starts out with the Justice League fighting Darkseid. He'd boom-tubed onto Earth and was fighting. Of course, they stop him partially because Superman broke his freaking jaw. Darkseid's not Superman, broke his own jaw, but and he leaves. He's like, no, don't come back. And he's like, yeah, dude, I already got what I wanted, and takes off. And everyone was like, okay, that doesn't sound good. What does that mean? Yeah. They had infected Cyborg with something, and then it turns out that they made a mistake, and this created the anti-life equation, which infected people through the use of technology. Because since Cyborg is part human and part technology, this virus was Victor had come down to Earth. They'd sent him back to Earth. He connected to the internet, and then anyone who was using a smart device, whatever, internet was getting infected, and it just made people infected with the anti-life equation, which kind of made them zombies. They don't call them zombies because they can't. I mean, they could, but it would be, make it sound way too much like Marvel Zombies. But this is just, this is an Elseworld, so they can do whatever they want. And that's one of Tom King's strong points, is when he's not Tom King, I'm sorry, Tom Taylor's strong points. When he does stuff like this, where he's not constrained by canon, where he's not constrained by past storylines or editorial saying, yeah, you can't do this because there's this, or we're too nervous about this. He does incredible stories like this, and there, stories like this, there's risk, because once you kill that first person who's big, once they destroy Apocalypse, once things start going, you know all bets are off. And this was a all bets are off type of situation. He goes absolutely batshit with this story, and the stakes are so high, and there's no real victor in this. I mean, there are survivors, but there are a lot of people who go. There are a lot of people who go in a very ugly fashion. And they kill off a lot of the big names. Obviously, my man here, he goes. And they just have some... It is so well written. It seems like a natural flow because, one thing leads to another, one thing leads to another. People are reacting, and then, oh shit, bad stuff happens. And it makes sense, but it is... And you feel the overwhelming sense of doom coming, like, oh, what do we do on this? But then every once in a while, there's bits of humor in it, due to things like they're talking about how to deal with Superman. If it kind of goes bad, this one, and Damien is like, okay, we're gonna use this. He goes, my dad, Batman, created a contingency for every superhero on the planet. So we can use this against him. And Green Arrow's just like, oh, that's kind of messed up. What did he have for me? And they're like, oh, yeah, he didn't have one for you. And he's all offended that, like Batman didn't see him as a big enough of a threat to do have a contingency to stop him. So there's little funny moments that, in the whole overall, in the overall arc of the story, which is not a hopeful story. But then there's also ones the Constantine goes into the little bar in the little pocket dimension, and he's like, Bobo, give me a bottle from the top shelf that made Phantom Stranger forget his own name. If I was drinking, I'd want some of that right there. It's the stuff that made Phantom Stranger forget his own name. But, yeah. This is a fantastic book. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. Because the story, like I said, is incredible. The art is top notch. Just top notch. I mean, it's pretty much not Jim Lee levels, but it's close. It's incredible. So combine these two, the art and the storytelling, it's a wonderful read. And then you get it in the packaging like this. What more could you want? So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. And so let me know what you thought of this, what you thought of the trade. If you read it, or just mainly the story, let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your comics.